talking with Kailyn today about her 4th grade school year, 2017-2018, and we're going to learn what public school in 4th grade is like for a 10-year-old girl in Georgia. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we established you're in 4th grade, and what are some of the subjects that you learned about this year?
I learned about science, social studies, math, and ELA, which stands for English Language Arts.
Ah, yes. Okay, so in math, what were some things that you learned this year that you didn't know before being the almighty 4th grade?
Well, I learned about comparing fractions and a little bit about decimals and we spent not even a full class on percentages.
That's like starting to get into some of the more complex stuff, the fractions and the decimals. How were there any frustrations or yeah?
In pretty much all of those areas.
So were there any moments, or talk about any moments that might have happened that were like, after having those initial frustrations of like a breakthrough? Did you have any moments where there was like an aha moment, like, oh, I get it, that makes sense? So what led to that?
So I think because when we were working alone, it was harder to understand, but then when she allowed me and a few of the other students discuss about it, it started making more sense because we all shared our ideas and then
wow,
yeah.
That's huge. That is something that is difficult for a lot of people to do, to be open to hearing a lot of different ways. So I'm glad that you found that to be a useful tool. And that's one of the cool things about math is that there isn't always one way to get from having a question to getting the answer. And so you were able to pick that up from other classmates instead of the teacher. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they let you do that.
Yeah.
That's
I am
awesome.
too.
That's good. So what about science? What was something that you learned in science this year that you didn't know before this year?
Well, we learned about light and pretty much every single other subject we did this year I had done last year.
Oh, really?
So,
other than light?
Yeah.
So what did you learn about light?
So we learned about refracting and concave and
What is that?
It's concave is when it's the name of a lens. So the lens would go in, and that's how it refracts light. And we learned how light bounces and how we see ourselves in mirrors.
Oh yeah.
And I learned this from brain games, but I didn't really understand it. But we learned that this is not actually black, it's every other color except black, because all of the light waves are hitting it, and the only one bouncing off is black, which is why we see it as black.
Interesting. Go human eyeballs. That's crazy.
I know, it's cool.
We only see what's not there.
Yeah.
Intriguing. What about you? Had health this year too, right?
Yeah.
Did you learn some stuff about the body, about the human body or anything?
We learned that our heart is a muscle, and
constantly working out, just pumping.
And we learned a bit more about arteries and our lungs too, and how inside of our lungs there's a ton of tubes that kind of make a web of tree branches.
Nice. All about them trees.
And I heard one of the 5th graders told me that in 5th grade you start learning about puberty in health class.
You ready for 5th grade health? It's good stuff to know about though. Gotta know about your body and what to expect.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So what was the name of your main homeroom teacher?
Mrs. Henry.
So let's talk about it. Mrs. Henry, you said?
Mrs.
Henry. So think about your perspective and the way that you saw Mrs. Henry from the first day of school. What was your initial reaction, like, that day?
Well, I had like a lot of mixed emotions because it was the first day of school, and like she's a new like this is her first year at this school.
And this was your first year at this school, right? So you guys had
some
shared kind of ground going in. Okay, cool. Yeah. And so, what we're talking more about the mixed emotions.
Well, like sometimes, like she could be a little frustrating because like she would get so annoyed by all the people always talking and yelling out. Like,
I could see how that would be overwhelming. How many students were in your class?
At the beginning, there was like 20, and then later, from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year, it was 27 kids, so almost 30.
30 kids and one teacher.
I know. Yeah, she was like, I wish it was just 15 students per class.
Yeah.
Or there was multiple teachers.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. That would be helpful. Absolutely. So, okay, now let's fast forward to the end of the school year. What was your perspective on her as you were exiting class on this past Friday?
She seemed just kind of like just done because everyone was even worse because it was the last day of school.
Well, what about how did things progress like over the school year?
But she pretty much turned into my favorite teacher.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty cool turn.
Yeah.
And what subjects did she cover? Because you bounced around from classroom to classroom with different teachers, right?
Yeah.
So and did she teach you any subjects specifically, or
she
just homework?
She did just ELA.
Oh, and that makes sense why
Yeah.
you would get a good feeling with her, because that's kind of like your jam.
Yeah.
Do you do reading in ELA?
Well, sometimes we're usually just working on like different techniques of writing and like figurative speeches and like all just things about English.
Mm-hmm. So, what about the social side of the house? So this is your first year in a new school. Did you make any new friends? Did you make a best friend? Oh yeah?
Definitely.
Let's talk about this best friend. Was it a boy or a girl?
It was a girl.
Naturally. What was her name?
Her name was Emma.
Emma, okay. And Emma what grade was Emma in?
She was in 5th grade.
So you made a new best friend that was in your same school, but was not even in your grade. You're reaching higher. Cool. How'd you meet her?
Well, it was a few days before school started, I think, and me, Tyler, and Mackenzie were just playing video games inside because we were staying up, and then I think it was Mom that came in and said, there's a girl that lives next door, do you want to come meet her? And so I went out to go meet her, and like we had like the awkward first time and stuff, and we just started talking about our likes and dislikes, and then the first day of school, it turned out we sat at the same, we had to sit in the same seat on the bus because the boys took over the back of the bus where she was supposed to sit, and so me, her, and this other girl I didn't know sat in the 4th grade seat.
Very cool. That's a fun opportunity then. So, but she, this ended up being a unique relationship, right? Because she didn't stay at school the whole year. So, talk about that.
So, we heard that she told me at school one day that her parent, that she was going to move to Florida. And I was like devastated.
Yeah.
So we came up with like tons of plans to try to get it to stop from happening.
Convince them that their new house is haunted.
We got cause in the neighborhood we live in, she has me and her have a bunch of friends there. And so we tried to get them all in a group and then go show her parents how many people wanted her to stay.
competition style. That's cool.
And
Didn't end up working. So she ended up moving down to Florida.
yeah.
Have you guys maintained contact since then?
Yep, we've been texting. I actually texted her yesterday and the
Great.
day before, I think. And I also went to go visit her.
So you had a chance to see her after she left. You went down and got to spend some time in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, that's
For
cool.
like a weekend.
That's great.
Yeah.
What did you guys do then?
We got, every morning there was like, everything was so close. Like you could walk to like a coffee shop that was super close.
That's great.
So every morning we went to go get some hot cocoa together. And one time Mom got coffee and I got hot cocoa, but we switched it up, so I ended up accidentally drinking her coffee.
How was that?
I didn't, like, I kind of noticed it, but I was like, that's an interesting hot cocoa.
Yeah, so it wasn't terrible.
And then it happened the next day too.
Again?
I know, right?
Oh.
And then we switched in the middle because
Yeah. This isn't right.
yeah, and we also went to Ripley's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And
It's like a whole other learning
yeah, it
experience.
was. And me and Emma got to stay at the house a lot by ourselves because they went out to like a super close restaurant. So we just played in her room and played Sims on her Xbox.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so shifting back to school and thinking about wrapping up 4th grade. Now that you're done, you are 4th grade alumni. What advice or piece of wisdom would you give to a 3rd grader who just finished their 3rd grade year, getting ready to go into the 4th grade?
Don't try to be the bad cool kid because you're not actually cool at all. Pay attention in class because that's how you get all A's and then you get special stuff. And I would suggest getting like a few like super good friends and then just sticking with them all year because there's going to be so much drama, so many mean people, and like...
So it's important to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good advice.
That's what I did.
I like it. That sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for sitting down and talking to us and your YouTube audience about your 4th grade. And maybe we can do it again after 5th grade.
Yeah.
Sounds
That'd
good.
be cool.
Thanks.